they didn't pick a Terran to play on this, which is kind of surprising, because Terrans generally like this map. But anyways, hopping in for the clan right now for Team LaG Gaming is going to be DeathEnD as the blue Protoss in the bottom left, and his opponent close by air. The bottom right is going to be PulseRate for Team UR as the red Zerg, taking a game off of our last opponent in a well-played ZVZ. It's up to him pretty much to come back for Team UR. It's currently 3-2, sorry, in this best of 7, and Pulse, needs to win this one, and then it'll be tied up. But PVZ seems like DeathEnd's going to go with a more typical Protoss opening with the Forge Fast expand right here. And 1 second. There we go, all fixed. But yeah, not sharing that similar opening to his teammate, instead doing the very typical stuff. And Pulse should be getting a spawning pool first. He actually will not scout first. Pulse or DeathEnd actually scouting correctly the first time. And I'm sure that everyone knows it here, but I feel like since we're on Shakuras Plateau, it brings back some good memories of being a caster and having to remind everyone that no, you can't spawn here if you're the Zerg player. Your opponent cannot spawn here. It's not close by ground positions available, which was the only map in the early days where Blizzard was smart enough to say that. Metalop or Metropolis with close by ground, those were the days. Those were fun. Those weren't. But anyways, pool and then a hatch is going to go down. The probe is going to be as obnoxious as possible, and I will be interested to see if Pulse is going to go for that 3 base on this map. This map was before the time of the fast 3 base Zerg, but it was kind of like in the transfer almost, and seeing it, it's just a little wonky. It does seem like Pulse wants to go for the fast third anyways, but it's not going to be as familiar to defend as some other of the newer maps, and it's such a long ways away too that it's actually kind of hard to defend it. Not as hard as Tall Ream, where you have to break rocks, but still a little weird. And not to mention that cannons behind here are very deadly, or on top, which that brings back memories. That's actually sickening. I hope he doesn't do it. I'd be very disappointed. I'd be angry. That is the worst thing in the world. Hopefully, though, Pulse remembers it, from laddering day after day, and says, I need to make sure to check that top so there's no cannon. It does look like he just wants to use it for a scout, though, which is also something that happens a lot. And the Zergling will find it, so very nice by Pulse. He's probably played on this map one too many times. And the third will go down. So fast for 3 bases for the Zerg player. Back in the Protoss Society, we have both gases coming up, so very standard stuff. We want to see what he decides to do. The third is also going to be, well, he can take this third. I take that back. If he tried to go for this third, it'd be a little difficult to take care of it versus a Zerg player, but he can always go for this one right here. This Overlord is going to be in prime position to scout for any all-ins or the tech or what have you when DeathEnd decides to throw it down. And until then, we're really going to have just 2 people macroing it up like a bunch of bosses. +1 is on the way. But that's very usual. It's excuse me, generally an opening in almost every single Protoss build nowadays that it's almost surprising to see it not be there. Even on fast 3 base builds, they still get it. So Cybernetic Square has finished. We're gonna have to see when and which gases he takes, which is something that PulseRate is also very interested in. And check out Pulse's scouting. That is such nice scouting. Unfortunately, he did lose the Xel'Nagas to 1 Zealot, so he should definitely take care of taking those back. But his Overlords are in good positions. His Lings have been scouting every which way for proxy pylons. And his Queen has finally made it over here. She's pretty damn slow. And he should start his creep spread. Oh, there he is, actually. So that's very nice, actually using that Queen for her first 25 energy to use a creep tumor, which is so important on this map. Such a long distance from your second to your third. It's actually rather obnoxious. That creep spread is so important. I would love to see a 4th queen. It doesn't seem like he wants to do it though, which, it's alright. I prefer a lot of queens, but I also prefer creep spread. I love creep spread. It makes me feel like I'm a professional player when my creep spread is out to the midpoint at 10 minutes. I feel so great and so happy. Proxy pylon going down right now. This is just for some early pressure. As you can see, there's only 4 gateways and a council, actually. So 4 gateways, little early pressure. He's going to have +1 on a zealot, so this could do a lot of damage. The Roachborn is not quite done, so he's going to have to wait for the roaches to pop also. Going to go in for the stalker, so that's as nice as he would like to expect. He's probably going to lose the queen. Going to want to start another one very soon. 5 roaches are on the way though, so those should be able to repel this force. A zealot not doing any damage actually to the drones, so that was a nice drone drill and nice micro. Check that out from Pulse, and DeathEnd's trying to return the micro favor but doesn't get it. And wow, that was actually really nice. Pulse using the larva from exactly this hatchery to make the roaches so they will just pop as soon as possible. It's always possible that if you hotkey your hatcheries on the same hotkey, that you build your roaches in your main and they have to walk all the way over there. So very nicely done by Pulse. Just a very clean execution, clean defense of that early aggression. It ended up really actually doing nothing, as you can see. Well, actually, he did kill 3 workers, but that's... I don't know, I wouldn't say that's worth 2 warp-ins. Maybe the initial attack, yeah, but the second one, not so much. And he really didn't overreact. 5 roaches, that's pretty much perfect. So very nicely handled by PulseRate. Back on the Protoss side though, he has warped in a lot more gates, 3 more to be exact. So he's gone up to 7 gates with blink. So it's gonna seem like it's gonna be 7 gate blink all in with a +2 weapons. He might also go for the +3, but it won't finish by the time this attack happens, most likely. And well, he should be also deciding to place a proxy pylon down soon. Now, Pulse has begun his excellent scouting once again. His links don't have speed quite yet, but it's almost finished, as well as the upgrade for the roaches and his +1. But as you can see, he's gone back, taking the Xel'Nagas, his overlords in prime position, creeping up the 3rd, although this also means that he's very well aware of the fact there is no 3rd, so he should be expecting an all-in. And he has a lot of units right now, but he's going to need more. 7 more roaches on the way. 2 more overlords. I was really worried right there. I thought he might be supply blocked, but he's not. So that's a very nice beginning to the start of this. This macro hatch is definitely going to have to be canceled. It's an interesting position to put it, but there's so many roaches right now. The blink stalkers are blinking to the best of their ability, but I don't think it's going to be enough. In fact, I think Pulse has it in the bag right now. DeathEnd has to start thinking about getting a 3rd, because his numbers were just not that high. You really need like this certain number of blink stalkers to really make them really effective against roaches, and I don't think he quite had it. The production for PulseRate is still very good. He's up by almost twice the supply of DeathEnd. His blink stalkers are blinking back once again. The ling count is a little low, so they're not, you know, surrounding or anything like that, but the roach count is very, very high. +1 has finished. His larva injects are very, very good. Creep spread is also there, so that is very nice. And the blink stalkers are trying to do their best to do damage, but there is just not enough of them. And here comes the full surround from the roaches. More lings coming in. 2 more extractors. It seems like he's going to go ahead and gear up for the follow-up. Although I wouldn't be surprised if DeathEnd, if he loses all of the stalkers, just GG out right there. Because this was a very all-inish attack. Even if he wanted to take the 3rd, it's being pooped on. He could still take this one though, so he could still take a 3rd if he really wanted to. But this was very all-in. 7 gates with a blink and his upgrades. His upgrades at least were good, but once again, you need a certain number of blink stalkers to really make them effective, and he did not have it. I couldn't tell you if he would have won if he had warped in more stalkers before attacking, because that just would have given Pulse more time, but very nicely defended by Pulse. Pulse is over the defense that game, by the way. The initial attack did nothing, pretty much. Very calmly executed. And then the blink all in